Y'all, welcome back to another episode of G-Man Fishing. We're catching some crappies. We haven't been recording. We got some on today, so that's why I haven't been recording. But supposed to be meeting up with, should be coming in any time, and I just figured I might as well take advantage, catch a couple crappies real quick on camera before he shows up. He's got about 15-20 minutes before he's supposed to be here, so I might as well go ahead and load up on some of these crappies, even though they're not big enough to keep. So I'm just loading up by catching them and gonna make a little video out of all these gorgeous little crappies. So basically what I'm doing is I got a double gulp minnow rig on, throwing it out there, and I'm reeling it in through these weeds. These crappies are just stacked up in these weeds. There's another one. There's another one. Oh man, oh man. That one's almost big enough to eat. Well, he probably is, but not right now. I'm going to keep any. But that one's a solid keeper right there. The biggest one so far of the day. I've caught a bunch of bass as well, so. But I've definitely figured out the crappies, where they're at. But all my years of crappie fishing, I kind of knew what to look for. But like later in the year when the water's lower, it makes it a little harder to find them in the weeds because there's just no weeds for them to be hiding in for structure. So basically, you know, when the reservoir's full, which it is right now, I take advantage of the weeds. There's another bite. Take advantage of the weeds and catch the crappies out of the weeds. So that's all I'm doing right now, is just taking advantage of the weed lines, stuff like that. So, and so far it's been absolute money. I've fished a couple weed lines already, and this one's held the most so far, but they're not very big. So, oh, I missed him. That's just the way it goes sometimes, you know. Whoa! Flying gulp minnow rig. So basically what I'm got is my standard gulp minnow rig. 2 gulp minnows underneath the slip float. And that's my standard gulp minnow rig. I use it for crappies, bass, bluegills, trout, and it works for all of them. So earlier I had a fancy little crappie jig on that I was catching bluegills on the other day at Lake Billy. But oh, I missed him. Didn't even set the hook. Probably had it under long enough for me to set the hook, but I didn't even set the hook on that one. But this is fun, just picking them apart, you know. Just finding a school of them and just catching them while we wait for a person we're fishing with today to show up. And I'm just throwing it out there, and I'm just slowly reeling it through all the weeds. And that seems to be working just fine. Just fine. For the crappies, y'all. For the crappies. But it's just fun, even if they're not big enough to keep, to throw out there, catch fish, you know. Oh, come on. I just missed him. I don't know if you guys can see that float or not, but doing what you, oh, come on. It's just doing what you expect it to do, is be your indicator to if you get a bite or not. I did think about just taking the ultralight and throwing out there with the jig head, but then I'm like, hey, you know what? I've got the float rig ready to go, and I like to catch crappies on the float rig. I I like to catch all fish on the float rig, to be honest with y'all. So, but it's like almost every cast I'm getting bit. But not every cast I'm getting a hook set though. But y'all, you just never know what's in store for you. Like today's gonna be a different kind of video for you guys. After this crappie fishing, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm almost thinking, there's a fish, there's a fish. It's another crappie. Keep them crappies coming. Small, but well worth catching. Well worth catching. They don't fight as good as a bluegill does, but they are still fun. Well, bro, or sis, you're not supposed to go on the bank. You're supposed to go back in the river or the water. Well, that's not the ones we're meeting today. But they'll be here soon enough. You guys will get to see who we're fishing with, hopefully. Eventually. There's another bite. Yep. Another crappie. Keep them crappies rolling. Keep them crappies rolling, baby. Yeah. You want to talk about getting excited. The G-Man gets excited about his panfish. For sure. Back into the drink you go, little fishy. We're back out there. See, what I'm doing is just casting out past the weeds. And I'm just kind of working it back into the weeds. And those fish are in the weeds. That's called structure. That's what they like. They like to hide out and structure for when they're ambushing smaller fish and there's another bite. When they're ambushing smaller fish or crayfish or whatever it is they're eating. You know, they are a predatory fish, and they like to ambush whatever it is they're going to eat, you guys. So, much like a lot of predator fish, they find a spot where they can just kind of set and lurk and wait for whatever it is that they're going to eat to swim by. And as it swims by, whoom, they suck them down. Like, kinda. You know, the thing about the goat minnow, what makes it so effective is it's representing what they naturally would eat. So, if you can replicate what a fish would naturally eat, that's going to catch you more fish. You know, crappies, a lot of times you got to go with lighter line to get them to bite. They're not really a fish that's going to hit if you're going to use super heavy line. You can get them to hit, but they don't hit as well, it seems like. So, you know, go 4, 6, 8 pound tests, maybe 2 pound, depending on how well equipped you are for catching fish, how much experience you got. I wouldn't go more than 10 pound tests for crappies, or 8 pound for crappies, but I know people who do that, but they seem to catch less crappie doing that. Maybe I got school all stirred up because I ain't had a bite in a couple casts now. It's that last fish. That's okay though. They'll come back, hopefully, if I'm lucky. But well, that's the cool thing about fish like crappies. They school up. Well, if you can find one, generally you can find a second one. There's a bite. Oh, and I missed him. No. Why would I miss the fish? Because you can't catch them all, right? That's exactly right. So, you know, just keeping that in mind is that you're not going to catch all the fish, but when you find them, keep hitting them. It's like this one school, I could fish it maybe all day. But, I mean, right now I'm not finding anything big enough really to eat except for the one. So, it might not be the best idea to just fish the one school. But you never know. Who knows? There might be some bigger ones out there in that school, and you just gotta weed through all the small ones until the bigger ones start biting. Or switch it up a little bit, throw something different, and you might get the bigger ones to bite. You just never know. And I'm working this float rig pretty slow this morning. Seems like if I move it too fast, they don't bite. Yep, that's probably why I didn't get a bite that time. Got all tangled up. Normally I have 2 different colors on, but I left the other color in the truck and I just grabbed the one color. So that's the color I'm throwing. And that's the all natural, not the chartreuse. Y'all. Let's see if we can't get another one. I've already had a really good morning of crappie fishing. The bass were kind of small, just like the crappies this morning. But that's the way it goes sometimes. The bass are all done laying their fry. So they're growing to be, 4 to 5 inch fish by now. And so not big enough to really want to mess with. But, they're there, so they're going to bite. And so you're going to catch a few of them. Come on, crappies. Start biting again. Can't tell me that's all the fish in the school. Can't tell me that's all the fish in the school. I don't believe you. I just don't believe you. I just don't believe you. I'm just not getting any more bites right now. From bye 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 to nothing, which is fine, And maybe the reason why I didn't get a bite is because it's tangled up right there. I don't know. Sometimes it don't seem to matter. Sometimes it does. You just never know. Came up and hit my float as soon as it hit the water. Didn't hit the. There we go. Fish on. That's a better fish, I think. Oh, that was a better fish. But it wasn't no crappie though. It was a pike minnow. And you know me, I love them all. I don't mind hooking a pike minnow. I don't mind hooking a pike minnow. Not at all. That would have been the 3rd species for today. And we're just getting started. It's crazy because you throw that orange float out there. It don't really represent anything the fish are eating. And they come up and they smack it. Alright, you guys, it's 9 o'clock. Our ride's supposed to be here today. So let's go see if our ride is here. Where's my coffee cup? I need that. It's almost gone, so I'll finish it before I get on there. Crappies are biting.
Are you catching them down there?
Crappies are biting.
Good stuff then.
How are you?
Good, man. How you been?
Oh, great. Just got done doing some catfishing last weekend.
Yeah, I saw you were surgeon fishing too.
Yeah, I do as much as I can.
Yeah, surgeon fishing looked pretty good.
Yeah, well, it was